I don't believe that a mother should sacrifice her life for her children. Stop treating your children like they're your possession. Be extremely honest with your children. A lot of parents shield their children from the truth. I don't hide anything from my child. People are like, this is insane. How you're raising your child is insane. But then when they see my child on stage or they meet him in public, like, oh my God, how'd you raise him like that? By being honest.
Dr. Sara Al Madani. Sara has raised her 9-year-old as a single mom, all while running 9 successful businesses. She recently went viral for this.
And I've heard that from a friend of mine. He said, don't love your job, job your love.
But there's so much more to her. She earned an honorary PhD in leadership and is reinventing what it means to be a modern Emirati woman.
But when it comes to love, she chose wrongly, again and again.
Describe a scene from your old life while you were living in a relationship with a narcissist.
I'll choose the worst one. So I found out he was cheating and I was on a video call, and at that moment I was like, I don't even know who I am. Am I crazy? He says it's my fault. I think it's my fault, but it's not. So I took the knife and I looked at the camera. He was smiling. He was laughing. At that moment was the moment where I flipped the switch.
What was your journey like of forgiveness?
Forgiveness doesn't mean that you accept the person and what they did to you. No. I always say apology accepted, access denied. End of story, you know? And I always say this, empaths with no boundaries are like homes with no doors. Unattractive. But also, another advice I'm gonna give you is...
I love that.
Wow. Welcome. Thank you so much, guys, for having me.
Of course.
I feel like I'm a baby because I'm a big fan of your page.
Oh, no.
I love what you guys do. Don't stop doing it, please.
Thank you.
You know, as someone who follows our journey, we're going to surprise you now. There's this big secret that no one in the world knows yet but our family. We recently got married.
No way!
Yes.
So now...
Arabic way.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's fun.
We've been blessed in Arabic way.
When did this happen?
A while ago, 6 months.
But we just haven't shared with everyone. It's the same with our engagement.
I'm so happy.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it that it's happening with me.
But as we got married, something very powerful came for the both of us.
Yeah.
So I want to ask the first question to you. We decided we will be parents one day. And you, how many businesses do you have now?
9.
Girl.
Okay. So this is exactly why the question needs to be asked.
Yes.
You have 9 businesses. You are a single mother and
Yes.
you are insanely successful. Plus, your relationship with Maktoum is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love seeing it. It's so natural and so genuine. How, from the future parents, are you balancing it all?
You see that question, how, is society programming you? Because they told us that when you have children, you can't work. Women should be home 24/7. Father should do one job, focus on the kids, sacrifice your life for the kids. We've been programmed. And if you believe something, you become it. I don't believe in all of that. I don't believe that a mother should sacrifice her life for her children. I don't believe that we should give up our dreams for our children. Because if I do that in front of my son, I'm teaching my son to give up on his dreams one day. So everything we were told comes from someone else's story.
Right.
So why don't you go figure out the truth on your own? And I used to micromanage. I used to love micromanaging. I thought entrepreneurship was about micromanaging, family was about micromanaging, until I realized it just empties my battery. And it doesn't allow the people around me to grow or even be more creative. So what I did is, when I did the inner work and the healing, I gave up micromanaging. And now the 9 companies are running perfectly without me micromanaging, because that's how it's supposed to be. If entrepreneurship does not buy you the freedom to do whatever you want, go get a job. That is so true.
Final line is so true.
It is
Because
true.
a lot of people get into running their own businesses thinking that they're going to free themselves from the matrix and the 9 to 5. And then they've gotten themselves enslaved by themselves without realizing it. It's like these invisible chains that they are in, right? So that's actually really
And
true.
the problem is they normalize it. Like entrepreneurs, every time you talk to them, the hustle. No, I no hustle, heal. You know, I believe that healing gets you much more money, much more work, much more things done than hustling does. But we've been taught that, we've been programmed to do that. If we're here to hustle, why doesn't my money get transferred to my bank account in heaven or hell? Nothing comes with me.
True.
These are all objects I use to enjoy life, and they're all borrowed.
how do you remain in your feminine while leading the team? I struggle with that so much because I feel like also we work together, we run the team together. And I think that sometimes the lines get blurred between work and relationship, and then I'm in that mode of like getting things done at work, which is not really sexy with my man, you know?
I get it.
So like, how do you maintain being in your feminine?
You know, we have both energies, masculine and feminine, right? And there's a reason we have both. It's because we need to unleash one when we have to. So at work, I'm a little bit more masculine, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But I do remain in my feminine, but I do unleash my masculinity a little bit because it helps me.
Yes.
And the thing is, women don't mind jumping between masculine, feminine.
No.
The men are the ones that have the problem jumping through those. Because if men jumped more into their feminine, they'll be more creative, more intuitive, they'll be more calm, more grounded. They'll be way more than what they are. But they think jumping into their femininity is weak masculinity, which is not, you know? Because the masculine side is the grounding, is the protection, is the providing, and the feminine part is the creativity, it's the magic, it's the spirituality. So what's wrong with a man jumping in back and forth into those whenever he needs that?
This is the first man I've been with that allows me to be like a little girl.
I can see.
You know?
I can see how you guys are together.
Yeah, like you let me feel safe.
I feel I shine a lot when I don't pretend that I'm this like alpha male.
If you are secure as a man and you know you're a man, it doesn't matter what you do or what people think about you. You know you're a man. Nothing changes that.
Yeah.
You know? And I always use, even with my son, I always tell him, have you ever seen The Rock with his daughter? He wears the tutu skirt, he drinks. You think The Rock cares when he posts this? If you say, oh my God, he looks very feminine. What's wrong with him? He doesn't care. He knows he's a man. It's only men who are insecure that cannot tap into their femininity because they care about what people would say about them. To be honest, like a lot of people say, it's a man's world. We feel sorry for women. To be honest, I genuinely feel sorry for men. They have to 24 hours put on a show, be strong, can't cry, can't complain, can't do anything. And it's such a hard space to be in, to not be able to express.
It's exhausting.
Very exhausting. And to be honest, I don't believe that the world can exist without men. I love what men do for us. Look at the roads we have. Look at everything around us. Men built it for us. I love men, what they do for us, but I also would love for men to open up a little bit, drop in their heart. Even their relationships would thrive because they will listen to their women better. They'll understand things better. And, you know, enough of this, putting this facade, the show, just to make society feel like he's a man.
You mentioned your son.
Yeah.
And I have an interesting situation because our whole life, we thought we were not going to have kids, as Ego mentioned.
Yeah.
And I know you've had experience with narcissists.
Yeah.
I remember being at a dinner table with my ex, who is a narcissist and a sociopath. And we're on a dinner table with his family. And he does something really obnoxious, says something really obnoxious. And then I remember his mom kind of laughed it off. And I felt, you know, that's really not appropriate. And she laughed and she was just like, what to do? You know, he's just like this.
Enabler.
Exactly. And that was, I think, the first time I realized that narcissists are raised. And so now thinking about the fact that I might have a son someday, I am freaking out a little bit. You know, the last thing I want is to raise a boy who then becomes like the man that almost made me end my life. I don't want that. So how are you shaping your son in a way that is now different from the experiences you've had? I
mean, the child cannot be something the parents are not. So every narcissistic household that has a narcissistic child, one of the parents is narcissistic, you know? So it just doesn't come out of the blue. I think like from a personal experience, being with 5 of them, I feel like narcissists don't have souls. They're just NPCs on earth to like...
What are NPCs?
NPCs are like...
non-players characters. So it's like they program in advance and they just have a specific task within the game. They're in a human form very often, but they only have a task to like sell you something or specific dialogues come to you.
Like they're not even real. There's no soul inside of them. They're not even the main character. There's no life there.
Do you really feel that way? Narcissists don't have a soul.
Because if you look deep into like in my book, I teach people how to even spot a narcissist character from their characteristics, physical characteristics even. Yeah, they give it away, babe, every time. It's just us. We numb the inner gut feeling. We numb it, you know? Yeah. We felt it day one.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, when you look at their eyes, even when they get mad, how they act, you feel like it's an empty shell. There's no soul. You know, you've dealt with one.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They're all sociopaths.
What do we do to make sure our kids are not being raised in a way that betray our values?
Yeah. So 2 things. Before you have a baby, make sure you both do completely the inner work.
Yeah.
Erase the karmas, the generational cycles, because that also gets passed genetically in your DNA to your kids. So for example, anxiety, you know, all these issues that people talk about, they're all transferred from parents that genetically.
Yeah.
And they're not diseases. It's coded in your DNA. It's a memory. It stays there. And
I've lost a lot of chains of my past through my life.
Yeah.
In order to become the opposite of my father. So I'm very aware of this. It's very important not to repeat the cycle that is haunting your family.
And the cycle ends when you do the inner work. And a lot of people think that, okay, we've done a couple of things, we're amazing, we're spiritual, we're just, make sure it's clean. Like this is why I go back and back. And even now, like, is there anything left? Let me go clean. So it's very important. Number 1. Number 2, be extremely honest with your children. A lot of parents shield their children from the truth. I don't hide anything from my child. 0 transparency, honesty to the point where people are like, this is insane. How you're raising your child is insane. But then when they see my child on stage or they meet him in public, like, oh my God, how'd you raise him like that? By being honest, by doing exactly what you tell me not to do.
Right.
I mean, he's literally sitting here.
But
so
because you can't see him, but he's like, yeah, she tells me everything.
I mean, just the fact that he can sit here with you right now and just like understand what we're talking about is amazing.
It's beautiful to watch.
And I do not treat him like a kid. I do not like, oh, don't talk about this. You're a child. Like I even ask him, Mom, I like this guy. What do you think of him? I take his opinion, and he's always right. He always pointed out the bad guys, and they turned out to be bad. It's because children are pure, you know, they're pure light. They're still not distorted. Yeah. But also another advice I'm going to give you is that your children are not yours. Like once we leave this world, we leave this body and this experience. Our energies, we're not mom, dad, sister. We're nothing. We're just energy. You know, we're part of source, right? So stop treating your children like they're your possession, where your ego is like, listen to me. I am the boss. Do whatever I want. It doesn't work like that. And believe it or not, they say in spirituality that your children are older souls than you are, so they come to teach you. At the beginning, you know, my ego was like, no, I'm the parent. What are you talking about? I need to teach him. But after the healing, I started listening more, and he actually puts me back on track. It's crazy. Like sometimes he'll come up and tell me, Mom, you haven't seen your parents in a while, and you need to go see them because you never know when they're going to leave this world. And, you know, time is all you have with them. Even if you're different than them, it's okay. Just go for a minute. He puts stuff in my head that I don't think about. Yeah. And it's because he's an older soul than I am. So he's teaching me.
In today's times, I believe a lot of people our age are really considering having kids or not. Like it's becoming less and less popular to have children.
Totally.
I really think people like you are literally like walking examples that it's great to have kids.
I know, it's amazing.
I swear, like,
amazing.
I can't believe that Maktoum is 9 years old. Like if someone listens to this out of context, they will think that he's like at least 16, 18.
Yeah, he's a little bit scary.
Asking for advice. And we just spoke before this episode, and he has so much like presence and wisdom as a little boy.
He does.
And I think that's the empowerment that the kid receives when the mother allows them to truly blossom into the person they are meant to be.
Yes.
When we believe in the concept of soul and just like coming here, there are so many elements of the everyday world that stop the growth of the soul.
And you said something very important that a lot of parents struggle to gift their kid, and it's allowing. My son has agency. Like he makes decisions. And I tell him, if you make a decision and something goes wrong, don't come complain to me. And he chooses his clothes. He chooses everything. I even told him, like once I was sitting down with a bunch of parents and kids, and they were speaking about university and stuff like that. And then he's like, Mom, do I have to go to university? I said, if you want to, go. If you don't want to, don't. This idea of, no, you have to be a doctor. You have to be this. You know, what happens is that parents, because they give up their life for their kids, when they bring kids, they want their kids to live their dreams that they couldn't live, which is so harsh because you're imposing your life on them, your dreams on them. Like my parents wanted me to be a pilot. That's my dad's dream. He wanted to be a pilot. You don't have to put that on me and then put me through the guilt of not doing it and then letting you down. That's your dream, not mine. And then, parents like, you be the doctor in the family. No, there's no doctors. Or be like your cousin. Stop doing that. You do not own your children. Our women, our wombs are portals. We bring life into this world. Souls pass through us. It's a portal. I don't own this kid. So I am just here not to even help him grow. I'm here to remove everything that stops him from growing. It's as simple as that.
That's really beautiful.
As simple as that, yeah.
I want to ask you probably a difficult question.
Go for it.
I believe.
Go for it.
For us, it was a big decision to decide to have kids. So listening to you actually makes me like, hey, let's get to work. Let's get to work.
Should I leave?
No, not yet.
Okay. We have some time. I want to ask you about how you deal with criticism. And in order to ask that question, I will go a bit deeper in explaining to you what happened to me.
Yeah.
I don't really talk about this very often, but I feel like you are just a perfect person to ask about it. I once made a video that stood strong against stoning gay people. There was a country that wanted to impose that law, and I made a video and it went very viral. It was like so many people. And in that time, for the first time in my social media presence, I genuinely was scared for my life.
Really?
I have received hundreds of death threats.
Oh, Lord.
I was receiving photos of people masked up with guns and saying that they're going to find me and kill me. I remember having that video on the internet and it went viral very fast. So the next day I woke up and I go into my inbox and I read all these vile messages. Vile messages that came from the same world that me, as a white guy from Poland who has nothing to gain from standing for what's true, for what's right, someone who generated so much empowerment and reach for people, was receiving terrible criticism.
Yeah.
At that time, I decided to keep the video up. And I knew that I needed to be ready to risk my life if I want to stand for what I believe is right.
Yeah.
And in that context, I want to ask you, because you are someone who I would presume gets quite a bit of difficult messages and
a lot
hatred.
Yeah.
This is not the whole internet trolling stuff.
Yeah.
These are genuinely people who are evil, who will send you the worst type of criticism and messages. What is your experience like operating in a world of fame?
Well, it all falls down to your belief system, okay? I believe in doing what's right, no matter how hard it is. I believe in that. Whatever the outcome is, I don't care. And yes, at the beginning, I used to get hurt when people used to say negative things and all that. But that's back then when I used to be a people pleaser. So I cared about how the outside looked at me. But then the more I cared, the more less authentic I was, because I had to literally be a chameleon. I had to change so people would like me. And then I realized I'm not authentic. I'm not aligned by doing that. And after doing the inner work, now it doesn't bother me at all. I get death threats. I get every type of threats you can think of. I have hate pages. I have people attacking brands I work with. I have people to me, these are fans. They just love you and just don't know how to express it another way than to hate you, because you can do things they cannot do. You can say things they cannot say. You have the balls and the guts to go out there and speak to the world without flickering your eye, and they can't. For example, a lot of women attack me because I'm an Arab, I have tattoos and all these things and all that. They think I don't represent them. But I know that deep down inside, they just hate the fact that I have the guts to go out there and live the life I want, and they don't, they're scared.
When you first experienced things for the first time, right?
Yeah.
We become a bit immune over time when
your
hundreds
skin
of thousands
goes thick.
of things.
Yeah.
But when it first started, how did you feel?
It used to hurt. It used to hurt because you're I'm a good person. All I'm trying to do is do something good. What's happening? But then my problem was, because I was good, I thought everyone was good. And I was confused. I was like, what? I don't get it. And it all changed with the spiritual awakening, because now I believe in duality. I believe there's darkness and light, not only in the world, inside of me as well, inside all of us. The minute I accepted that, the minute the darkness did not bother me anymore, I was like, oh my God, I accept everything. There's beauty in everything, right?
I love this because a lot of people
same.
are scared to start because of criticism. I often get a question how do I deal with criticism? I'm scared to start something.
Yeah.
Whether it's the social media world or anything in life, you're scared of being criticized by your parents, by the friends. First, you fear the people who are in your world, and then the people in the outside world. So what you say is very enabling.
It's true. I always tell my friends who are like, oh, I can't do this. What do people think? I'm like, I dare you to go out there and get hated. I dare you. Because if you're hated, it means you're real. If you're liked by everyone, there's something off. Why is everyone liking you? You don't even like everybody. How is everyone liking you? You know what I mean? So it just doesn't make sense. And I always tell people, the minute you go out there and you're hated, the minute, like I feel like, there's something that happened in my life around like 4 years ago. I was with the wrong person and that destroyed me and it destroyed my reputation and people were attacking me for it. And I was like, oh my God, all of this because, I was in love. That's harsh. That's brutal and all that. But when you have that idea of if my reputation goes bad, it's bad. If people talk about me, it's bad. If they think wrong of me, it's bad. And you have this polished image of you. Once this gets dirty and stained, then you have nothing to lose. They say when you lose your reputation, then you have nothing to lose. So when I lost it back then and people were talking, now I'm free. I swear to God, it freed me. And this is why I tell people, I dare you to go out there and live the life you want. Just be hated. I dare you to be hated. And I dare you to be disliked because that means you're real. It just shows you're really authentic.
That's I really like that. I dare you to be hated.
Yeah.
And it's so true. When I started I was just dropped into the social media world because I was, with Aegon and then helping out with the business and everything. And I felt so out of my element.
Yeah.
And everything would get to me. And I just felt like everyone is against me.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to be? And without even realizing, I would dim my light.
Yeah.
In specific rooms, I would shrink.
Yeah.
In specific conversations, I would keep quiet. And then I look back and I'm like, I never used to be that person. I used to take up space, be loud, have my opinions, and completely not care. I mean, I was also not very nice maybe long ago, right, to people. But then I went down completely the other opposite where I used niceness as a mask when actually on the inside, I was just people pleasing. It was just fawning. And so then, I'm the nice person. When on the inside, I'm like, sometimes I feel like saying, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I would rather be able to say that.
Yeah.
And let you not like me, but we know where we stand.
Yeah.
I don't like you, you don't like me, but we're honest about it. I have more respect for that person than the one who's like, hi.
Yeah.
And then you can just feel like it's
genuine.
Not true.
It's not genuine.
Not genuine. Yeah, exactly.
Usually, look, a lot of people, even people who are in relationships and they're like, oh, I just want to fix her. I just want to fix him. I just want to, like Bob the Builder, we put the helmet on. We just want to fix people. It's all trauma dumping on each other.
And then trauma bonding after
Trauma bonding and trauma dumping on each other. Yeah.
Did you have self-doubt at any point? I feel like a lot of women looking at you probably feel really inspired by your unapologetic way of being. And men. Right. And men. That's true. That's true.
Really?
But I think especially women tend to feel like they need to conform.
So I'll tell you, it's funny because a bunch of my friends went to do this course called 3 hours to fall in your confidence. 10 ways to be confident, 100 ways to be confident. And they think confidence is something that can be taught. It's not. Confidence is when you accept and love yourself fully for who you are, and you wouldn't want to change anything about yourself. That's where confidence comes. And confidence is not related to physically how you look, to be honest, because I've seen people wear pajamas that are more confident than people wearing pageant dresses, So confidence is an energetic dress you put on. It has nothing to do with how you look from the outside. And the reason I'm confident is because I love who I am. And I fell in love with myself, and I have so much self-love that I can give so much love to the world. And a lot of people think that if you love yourself, it's selfish. No, it's selfless when you love yourself, because the more you love yourself, the more you can love others. The more you give yourself, the more you can give others. You can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Yeah, and I honestly give people a lot of just compassion.
Yeah.
Today's times have so many things that are there to kill our self-esteem. The internet is a difficult place.
Of course.
And it's so many people want to be loved and popular. And It's easy to get lost in that idea of creating an image of the perfect version of yourself in order to be loved.
Yeah.
You wrote a book about narcissism.
Yeah.
And I know that there was a version of me like 6 years ago. You would have saved my life in that moment earlier than I saved my own. And I want to know how someone like yourself, because I think a lot of people have these preconceived notions of what a person who falls for these kinds of men or women who are narcissistic look like or are like. And it was the same with me on the outside. I would appear to be a very confident person, but behind closed doors, I was with an abusive, narcissistic man.
Yeah.
And you are similar in that sense of you are intelligent, bright, beautiful, famous, wealthy, and you have also gotten yourself in such a situation. So how did that happen?
Because I did not heal my traumas. It was my childhood traumas. Yes, I was confident. I was making money. I had businesses. I was known. I had presence. I had everything. And when I go outside, I can own a whole room, but just by speaking, just all energy. But back home, I was getting beaten. I was getting hit. My money was taken away from me. I was like, they robbed me from everything. Like they basically, they rape your soul every single day, a narcissist. But the thing is and people ask me the same question, how is a strong woman falling for this? Because we're all broken in different departments. It doesn't have to be the business department. It can be the love department. It can be the childhood department. We all have different departments in our life. So and the thing is, a lot of people think just because they're good people, that they don't need to work on themselves. They don't hurt anybody. They don't need to work on themselves. Yes, you do. The biggest person you hurt is yourself. You're your biggest enemy. Yeah. When you are an empath that's broken, you are very kind to the world, but to you, you're your worst enemy. And yes, you do need healing. So it was all about doing the inner work in a certain department that even empowered every other department. I wish I had my book back then. And I'll explain to you just one thing. The reason, a lot of people, I get a lot of hate for the book as well. They're like, oh, you're not a doctor. You're not a specialist in this. You're not this. I'm like, yeah, but I'm a survivor.
That's
and
ridiculous.
I have the right to tell you my story and to teach you.
Describe a scene.
Okay.
Any from your old life while you were living and in a relationship with a narcissist.
I'll choose the worst one. For example, I'll be sitting down, okay, and he'd come inside the house. We'd be having dinner or something, and my phone would ring. So I would I don't want to have a work call on the table. So I go 1 minute, I'll be right back. So I go take the call, I come back. He's like, are you cheating on me? I was like, no, check my phone. I don't care. Because he regularly checks my phone. He's like, give me your phone. And he checks my Instagram. He checks my phone. He has my passwords, everything.
In front of you?
In front of me, yeah. Because if I don't do it, I get hit. So I have to cooperate, I'm like, no, check my phone. He's like, okay, no worries. And then because he does it, he's the one that does this when he gets off the table. So he thinks you're like him. Okay. So because now his mood got upset, or we ruined his mood by doing absolutely nothing. I just picked up a call. It was related to a bank, a transfer. So I had to take it, So then I'm the one who prepared the food. He's like, the food sucks. It's shit. I was like, but that's how I do it every day. So he grabs the plates, throw it on the wall, breaks everything. He's like, I'm stressed. My life is stressful. And now you're stressing me more. So you know what I mean? Gaslighting you, And I'm like, but what did I do? And then you question yourself. I'm like, oh my God, maybe I did something wrong. What if I didn't take the call right now? I am wrong. So they make you feel like you're wrong, at everything. And then I remember his eyes would go completely blank, as in the pupils would dilate. The full eye would become black. It's like he's possessed. And he would break everything in the house. Okay.
It's like a demonic
possession. Yeah. And then he will provoke me so much, and I'm calm and I'm collected. I'm like, please, let's stop. We can't do this. Until one day I lost it. So I started breaking things back. He sat and he started clapping, and he had a smile on his face. He's like, see, you're as sick as me.
I can picture it.
Yeah.
I know exactly, because I've been driven to that point.
And I was like, what? But then the next morning, when we woke up in the morning and everything was broken in the house because he did it, he called the police because he can't even remember that he did it. I swear to God. So he called the police. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, someone came into the house. I was like, you did that. And then he wouldn't believe it. And then I was like, you did that? And then he's like, oh my God, yeah, I did it. And I'm sorry. It's like, it's love bombing. It's a cycle. It's delusional. It's psychotic. It's crazy. So this is like one of the worst ones, but it goes even worse. Like I remember once I was sitting in a restaurant and he was sitting next to me and there was a girl in front of us with her husband or boyfriend or whatever it is. And he was staring at the girl the whole time. And then I looked at him. I was like, I'm with you. Why are you staring at women? He's like, because she looks happy with him. And I'm looking at her, now she's looking at me. She just cheated on him indirectly. And this makes me feel more power than him because I just had his woman, but I didn't even touch his woman.
You said that.
Yeah, you sit there and you're like, what the hell am I doing here? You know, but you can't leave because, you know, Stockholm syndrome, you're in love with your abuser and, you know, they get you addicted because they play with your hormones, you know, up and down, cortisol, dopamine, up and down, you know? So you feel like you're literally, it's like being addicted to cocaine. You're addicted to him, but you're not really addicted to the person or in love with him. It's just you're hormonally imbalanced.
Yeah.
And they use that against you every single day. Yeah.
I have my own fair share of these types of stories and eventually just... What happened in the end was I ended up reaching rock bottom and wanting to end my life. But it wasn't from all of this, which was also, you know, super dramatic, crazy. It was from the shame that comes from the fact that like I allowed this to happen to me. Like I couldn't face that I did that. I did that to me, you know? And
the guilt is heavy.
You know, to be there, you are extremely unhappy. You want to end life, right? And so you either change your expectations of life or you change your life conditions. And so everything needs to sort of change. I remember changing all of that.
Yeah.
But it takes that will. So for anyone listening or watching that's in that place and needs that thing to get them out, the will to want to change their life circumstance. What did you do and what did you say to them?
My turning point was I was once suicidal and like the amount of shit he did to me, it was unbelievable. I was confused. I lost myself. And it was so painful to lose yourself because I was losing my business. I was losing my business partners, my work, my friends, because they isolate you.
Yes.
And they want you to depend on them so they can control you and humiliate you, you know, when you depend on them. So I remember one day we were on a video call and I just had enough and I found out that he was cheating on me as well and with like a prostitute, you know, because he, you know, when a man can't level up to your level, he'll go with someone a bit lower so he can feel more manly because she allows him to do anything he wants as long as he pays, right? And no shame to anyone out there in the world, but it's the reality. Yeah. You pay, you get what you want. But with me, you can't pay to get what you want. You need to level up with me. So I found out he was cheating and I was on a video call. And at that moment, I was like, I don't even know who I am. Am I crazy? He says it's my fault. I think it's my fault, but it's not. I'm confused. The gaslighting, the manipulation. So I grabbed a knife and I was on a video call with him. And I was like, I'm going to cut my wrist because I'm done with life. I'm done with you. I lost everything. So I took the knife and I cut it in front of him and I started bleeding. And like, for me, it was a shock to see the blood. I was like, what the fuck did I do? And then when I grabbed my hand, I looked at the camera. He was smiling. He was laughing. He was like, whoa, I wish I can film this. It's a movie. Show me the blood. At that moment was the moment where I flipped the switch and I was like, oh my God, you don't give a damn shit about me. You don't even care. So that was my turning point. And then I started looking internally and like, looking at where I went wrong, what happened, even searching online. Like I didn't even know what narcissism was. I was like, what is this? He did this, he did. And then I saw columns of people speaking in communities and all that. And then I watched videos about narcissism. I was like, oh my God, every single thing, every step was there. Yeah. I was like, this is a thing? It's an illness? And then I realized all my exes were the exact same man, just in a different body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Some more narcissistic than the other, some less, different types. But to be honest, like if I was to give you an advice of where these narcissists are mostly found, in the spiritual community. Ooh. Most of the shamans, most of the healers, most of the people in that community are all narcissistic assholes who want to take granted of people. They want to use people because they love feeding on empaths. It's their favorite meal on the menu. And where are all the empaths? In the spiritual community, they're healing. So they love to go prey on them. So I always tell people, like on podcast, please be careful. Even in the book, I call them the spiritual narcissists. Please be careful because, you know, they do it for three things, either power, money, or sex. Whether they're females or men, they do it for that in the community. And they're using and abusing people who are broken, who are seeking refuge, who are seeking healing. So be extremely careful. Believe your energy, believe your gut feeling when you feel off around them. Being in the spiritual community, I think I met over like 9 shamans that were narcissists.
Wow.
They hide in robes and white clothes and they pretend to be the part, but they're preying on people. They're not praying for people.
That's why it's so important what you're sharing in your book, so people know what are the traits. And I love that, because if I had this vocabulary, if I had these pieces of information, I could have, just like you said, right? Okay, oh my God, that's me.
Yeah.
And then that allows you to get out of these situations.
Totally.
But also I like that you said that led you to look within. Totally. Because what I'm also starting to see on the flip side is that a lot of people, like I had a client in my coaching business. She came in and she just got into, like she just completed a relationship, broke up. And you can tell a lot about a person with the way they share their own story.
Totally.
And so as she shared her story, she's talking about what happened to her. He's a narcissist. He did this, he did that, he did this. And what I'm also noticing is this trend where some people use that term to completely deflect any personal accountability.
Totally. You can't just go around throwing the word narcissist at everybody. And it's happening nowadays.
And that's happening nowadays.
Yeah. And in the book, I say, not everyone's a narcissist. This is what it takes to be a narcissist. And this is like everything you need to know. But at the same time, he showed me who he was. I stayed. I have an issue as well. So the problem is in me. I cannot fix him. I cannot help him. Whether, just to make it clear, narcissists are not only men, women. And women are worse than men when they're narcissists. So, just pointing fingers at him and telling people he's bad, he did this to me, I'm not going to grow. I'm just gossiping by now and telling stories over and over, and it's getting boring, right? Mm-hmm. But if I focus on me, that's my power. That's where I grow. If I point the finger at me and I stop playing the blame game and I look at, it takes two to tango. Where did I go wrong? And that's the question that a lot of people can't ask themselves because they have ego. They think they're perfect. I'm the victim. I don't want to be a victim. Screw being the victim. I want to be my hero, you know? So, and the only way to be a hero is to look at where you went wrong. Because a lot of people, when they're hit or beaten up or abused, they don't want to look at where they go wrong. And if you tell them, what about you? They're like, I'm abused. How dare you talk to me like that? And they victimize themselves even more. I remember I was speaking once about physical abuse. And this woman was like, how dare you speak about physical abuse so willy-nilly, as if it's not important. I was like, I was physically abused, so I have the right to speak about it.
Exactly.
But I'm speaking from a healed place, because when you heal, the memory doesn't disappear. You just disconnect from the emotion in the memory, but the memory is still there.
That's so true.
Yeah, so I can speak. So yeah, I can speak about my physical abuse without crying,
without the nervous system dysregulated.
Exactly, but she's crying about it because she still hasn't healed from it. And even now that I'm trying to teach her something, she's victimizing herself with me. So you can see
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, so you can see the issue of being a victim. It's not going to serve you. It's not going to get you anywhere. You want to remain a victim? Go ahead. Look, when you fall in life, you have two choices: whether to get up and become better and feel down a little bit, but get up in the end eventually, or to live your life in misery and die crying 24/7. What do you want? Of course, the right one. Is there even a choice there?
As you did your inner work and went on your healing journey, when I did that, I found that I lost a lot of people along the way. And I can look back now and say, that was good for me. But the transition period of when you're still not who you need to be yet, but you're also no longer the person that got you into the crap that you were in, that period can feel very lonely. Did you ever go through that?
Yes, because I didn't know the difference between solitude and lonely. Like, you might be alone, and lonely is not the same meaning, right? No. So at the beginning, I was like, oh my God, why is everyone falling off like leaves from a tree? The more I do the work, the more people walk away, or we feel like we don't click anymore and the energy fizzles and we just die off.
Right.
At the beginning, it was a little bit scary because it's like, what's happening? But then the more you start loving yourself, you're like, I'm gonna shake that tree up, let all the leaves fall down. And it's like, I don't care. Like it's like, let them all fall. Solitude is beautiful. And it's the only time I get to receive downloads from the universe, to talk to God, to talk to myself, to listen to myself, to even every night I sit in my bed and I just look at my whole day and I self-reflect. You know, but if I'm out 24/7 and I'm with people 24/7 and I can't have a moment where I get to think and I come home tired or I'm on Netflix or I'm on this, it doesn't work. How do you self-reflect? You need time alone. So for me, I love solitude is beautiful. When I know that I'm going to go home to spend time alone, I get so excited as if my favorite series just dropped.
Yeah.
It's because I just love my solitude so much. And you love it because even though you're alone, you're not really lonely.
Yeah.
I have me, myself, God. I have guardian angels. I have ancestors. There's so many energies around me. I'm not alone. And my higher self, I love myself a lot. So I enjoy my company. And people who can't enjoy their company when they're alone, says a lot about their trauma, says a lot about how much they love themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me just say, because I listened to the both of you.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Really personal and difficult moments.
No, thank you for creating the space for me.
I truly find that you always tend to connect to the people who have had it tough.
Yeah.
Like we have this thing where our friends and people automatically connect to actually had it pretty tough. And somehow we came out on the other way victorious.
Alchemists.
Right? Exactly.
Alchemists.
First of all, I'm just so damn happy for both of you that you're still here.
Oh,
like really, the world would be missing a lot if one of the wrong decisions went too far.
Yeah.
So it's a totally beautiful thing. And I also really want to highlight, because we touched on something very powerful and very deep. I think a lot of pain is found in the environment of good people. People have a tendency, who are good people, to want to change someone.
Yeah.
And all three of us have these tendencies to quite an extreme. We want to fix someone because we think that they will love us more because we changed their lives so much. I was in a very long relationship, and I want to say this as well because I think a lot of times it sounds like only women are abused.
Yeah.
Because men are afraid to share in order not to seem weak in some way. And looking back at it, I could only really understand it in the past few years as I got to learn what true love is with Sonia. I was in an abusive relationship. It was different vibe because in some ways we were abusing each other. My abuse was that I couldn't give her love. And her abuse was that she had very serious mental health problems.
Yeah.
But she was an older woman than me, and she held me in a relationship for 7 years based on a premise of suicide.
Yeah.
So every time things were getting hard, she would say she's going to end her life. And I would go through the movie-like scenes of like needing to hold her on the ground like this because she wants to run out of the window and go in the car and drive and so on. And as you were talking about what you went through, it's so interesting because I also had something with my arm that was my breaking point. Yeah. I remember after 6 years, I was in a car and I almost broke my hand because we were in a car, and I started punching the car. For the first time in my whole life, I had like an aggressive, really like primal, I want to destroy it. And I almost broke my hand. And that was also my turning moment when I realized I can no longer try to save this person from taking their own life.
Yeah.
I have to leave. And as I feel into this and as I understand who we are here, I really want to create a space of compassion for people on the other side who are going through this right now and perhaps see themselves as like lesser because they're dominated by somebody's aura. We are not fully responsible for this finding us. I know there's a lot of talk that our energy attracts and so on. Sometimes life tends to be a bit random. And you end up in a situation that because you're a good human, you want to help someone.
Yeah.
And then you open your eyes and you're 5 years in and you're like, well, this is me now.
Yeah.
It is that moment that you described as the wake up moment that is the only moment where you realize it's over.
Yeah.
I am not here to fix, save people or change them. So sharing these stories is very important. And I also want to send a lot of compassion to men out there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's less physical abuse, but there's a lot of mental abuse,
100%.
psychological abuse.
100%.
And we as men don't talk about it because we don't want to seem like we're overpowered by a woman. No, like if you're going through something, speak up and stay strong and things will get better.
No, it's true. And to be honest, like you said sometimes things happen randomly. I used to think they happen randomly. I don't think they happen randomly because I prayed to be the woman I am today. And I guess for me to be the woman I am today, I owe it to all these bad experiences. So nothing was random. It was all part of making me who I am. Even now, if you tell me if I can take you back in time and erase everything, do you want to go back? I say, no, never. I don't want to change anything. I want to keep everything the way it was because I've always prayed to become strong. I've always prayed to become resilient, confident, and all that. So now, as the woman I am, I sit today and I go like, I wanted all of this. I wanted to be all of this. But the only way was to go through all of these things because God can't sprinkle dust on me and I become resilient. It doesn't work like that.
I fully agree with you on the level of soul and the deeper sense of humanity.
Yeah.
Where I don't agree is based on when you travel the world and you see the circumstances some people are born in less privileged countries and the experiences they have to go through, you realize that it is a bit random because there are probably 1 billion people out there, at least, that we can speak of all this like energy attraction and all these things that you step in your strength and so on. But in reality, their soul cycle, for whatever reason, was meant to go through pain. And there is no possibility of actual stepping into your power. Yeah. And that's where the human life randomness comes in. Because, I mean, we were all privileged to be born in some way, right? Totally, whether it's we are attractive. That's already like such a... We sometimes talk about it like, I wonder how life looks like for someone who's not born attractive.
Yeah.
That's already an entirely different experience. We don't think about it too much because that's who we are.
Yeah.
But it is random in that sense, you know?
I just hope that like our stories and us opening ourselves to the world is not just another podcast episode. We genuinely want people to listen, to understand, to learn. If there were podcasts 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I wouldn't have fell into all of that, you know? So please, I want people to use this knowledge, this opportunity that we have in today's age where knowledge is everywhere. And, you know, a lot of people are like, why another book about narcissism? There's so many books about narcissism. It's because I read them all and all of them speak from a psychological perspective. It's not a human language that I can digest easily. And my gift is I can channel and digest information. If you give me stuff, I can digest it and I can throw it out in a very digestible way. Yeah. That's my gift. And I don't shy away from my gift. I'm proud of it because I need to feed it for it to get better, right? Yeah. And this is part of self-love as well. Honor your gifts. Honor what God gave you. There is no more excuses. Like everything is out there. Please educate yourself. Just watch videos, YouTube, books, whatever you can do. So you won't have to go through what we went through because you can prevent it.
Yes.
We couldn't, but you can.
You know, Sonia was saying something that made me think.
I was saying that love can seem so hard when we don't have the tools and we feel like we need to navigate it all alone.
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten used to this concept that love must be either self-love or maybe love with a partner. But how about learning about love in a group of people who want to be better at it?
Exactly. And it would really, really help us if you help us hit that subscribe button because we can reach more people and get the best guests on the show that help us push that narrative of believing in love again. So
do that, please. And as you hit subscribe, maybe also hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much. I love the concept of learning on other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
Because we often speak about learning from your own mistakes.
Totally.
Right? But the idea of learning from other people's mistakes is so powerful.
It is.
I wonder... You've been through difficult times.
Yeah.
And I myself, as we talk about vulnerability and speaking of things that touch us, I had a very powerful journey of forgiveness in my life.
Yeah.
I think until today, it's still like one of these things that I released that people still come, even though it was 4 years ago. I cried in a video and it was difficult as a man to be so open, but I had a life-altering journey of forgiveness.
Yeah.
So when I remember because when I let things go, she came into my life.
Yeah.
My career just 10x instantly. Like the forgiveness was like tying my heart in these chains that I dropped and I felt like I can finally just be my own individual person who no longer blames my parents for doing this. I am me, no one controls me.
Yeah.
What was your journey like of forgiveness?
I didn't understand forgiveness when I was younger. Even 10 years ago, I didn't understand what forgiveness was. I was like, why should I forgive someone that abused me? Until I realized that I'm the one bearing the weight. It's like I'm just carrying more bags and more bags and more bags, and I hate them and I hate them and I hope they die and I hope. And then also I realized that if you hate somebody, you still have feelings for them. So I didn't want that. I was like, okay, if I love them, I have feelings for them. But if I hate them, I still have feelings for them. So the best way is to forgive and to be indifferent. And also, if you believe of the concept of the souls and all that, you realize that this is just a human experience. Once they leave, their souls, they have nothing to do with this. They're just energy, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the circumstances that shapes people and all that and what they go through and everything, right?
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe they're like reincarnated a mosquito. That's the karma.
And then in your next life, you don't even know it, but
we're trying to speak about forgiveness, but I hope he reincarnates into a mosquito.
Shout out to all mosquitoes out there. They have like the hardest lives, honestly.
Yeah, but you don't know what they've done in their past lives.
I don't know.
Forgiveness is beautiful, not for the person, but for you. And forgiveness doesn't mean that you accept the person and what they did to you. No. Like, please don't people who are listening, don't misunderstand the definition of forgiveness. Forgiveness is forgiving yourself for being in that situation and accepting to be there and letting go of the negative emotion that's tied to that memory. But it doesn't mean accepting the person back or opening doors. I always say apology accepted, access denied. End of story. That's it.
Ooh, I love that.
That's it.
Apology accepted, access denied. I just want to say this to someone in real life.
To
it's going to be so exciting.
Access denied.
Apology accepted, access denied.
And that's such, because a lot of people think that if I forgive, that means I have to welcome them back in my life. No, not at all. Not at all. Don't even entertain that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's it. Forgiveness and walk away. Because think about it. If you really hate a person for what they've done to you, if you hate them, you still have feelings for them. So let's activate our ego a little bit in that moment and release our ego. You don't want to have feelings for them. Indifferent. Forgive them so you can become indifferent. And plus, I've read something about forgiveness that's really beautiful. It says, if you hold a grudge or if you hate somebody, it's like drinking the poison and hoping they would die. But you're the one drinking it. Nothing's going to happen to them. They're living their life. They're thriving. They're growing. They're flowing. And you're the one sitting there with your hate and your anger. And it's heavy. That you cannot climb to the top with heavy things. Let go. And as he said he met you and he let go and he forgived.
Yeah.
Because it takes space.
My dreams started coming true and my dream came into my life. So two things at once.
Yeah.
Forgiving.
Because it takes space and you're in your.
That's true. It's a spaciousness.
I spoke to quite a bit of people how actually it takes a lot of work to forgive. But as you said, like the moment you realize that you don't have to forgive a person once they change.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Sometimes those who hurt us never changed.
Yeah.
They still mess up. They're still the same person. So how do you ever forgive them? You need to forgive them for yourself.
Totally.
Before we move on forward, maybe we bring Maktoum on.
I would love.
Do you have any questions before we do that or no?
No.
Okay. We should totally bring Maktoum.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
You can sit on my.
If you can, Maktoum is camera trained. It's like no jokes here.
He's spoken in front of what? 2,000 people?
I think you
5,000 actually.
5,000.
Mind value was 5,000.
And it was my first ever speech.
Bless you.
My first speech.
Yeah.
Do you want to drop the hat? Because I think you're covering Mom too much. Yeah. You can't outstage her too much, okay?
Yeah. Your time will come.
I already have.
You already have.
Where'd you get your sense of humor from? Mom?
No. It's natural. It's natural.
How dare you? I'm so funny.
You have no sense of humor.
What? What the hell? You always laugh at my jokes?
Tell me one joke right now.
Remember the lion following the chubby then?
What?
Because likes to jiggle.
What?
See the jiggling.
Oh my God, you do get along.
It's so bad that it's funny.
Yes, he gets it. I love that joke.
I love that
It's
joke.
like my bread and butter of sense of humor.
So I'm like you. It's so bad. At first, I used to just like spend initially like rolling my eyes the first few years, but he calls himself a cockroach. He's like, I'm a cockroach that will never leave. I'm just not going to stop.
My jokes will never stop.
And now I make the dad jokes unironically.
Tell me one dad joke.
So my
It's
jokes
usually
are
puns.
situational.
Yeah.
They need to happen in conversation, in context to something. It's often wordplay.
Yeah.
So
Very
as
witty.
we talk, I perhaps come up with something, but until then, you seem to be very humorous.
So what if I like give you like a small scenario so like you can try to make something out of it?
Okay, let's go.
Wow. Okay, on the spot. That joke.
So I'm just gonna add these stuff: a supermarket, butter, and a chair. Try to make something out of that.
So
Supermarket.
why do you have to advertise these things?
Butter is everywhere.
That's a dad
But you
joke.
said you're gonna add it.
He just gave you a dad joke.
It's a slow burner.
We call it a slow burner. When you throw a grenade in the game, it takes 5 seconds and then blow up. That's how my jokes work.
It actually takes 3 seconds.
Depends on the game. Come on, bro. I know what's up about the video games. But you see, the concept is always the same. Is there a smile on the face of the recipient? Look at your face. You can't hold it in.
Yeah.
Okay? You are smiling. I won.
Yeah, that's always been his logic.
Okay,
If
let
you
me
laugh,
tell-
I win.
Let me tell you like one of the worst dad jokes. Okay. What do you call a Mexican man that lost his car?
Lost a what?
Car.
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 Carlos.
That's actually really good.
Actually, more of a Spanish man than a Mexican man.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Mom.
Okay.
But it works. It works.
Give them some of your wisdom. Now, this is the jokes
Wisdom.
aside. This is a serious.
We spoke of you so highly. You
Yeah.
need to give us a bit of wisdom. I want to ask you something, okay? Because your mom told us that you have moments when you advise her on something.
Yes.
How do you know this stuff? Like, how do you know, okay, this guy is not going to be good for you, for example, when your mom asks you for advice?
Smooth, square face with a nice jawline.
Square face, Minecraft style.
Like yes.
Marky, he's not asking you about the looks of these guys.
I'm asking about the depth, bro.
The depth.
This is serious now, okay?
It's easy.
Okay, how do you know every time I asked you about a guy, you knew he wasn't good? How do you know? What did you see? How do you feel?
I don't know what he does to me, basically.
You see how he talks to you on the side?
Yes. The way he talks to me, the way he acts with me, and what he does with me.
Yeah, because like they can pretend to impress me, but with the kid, the truth always comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because you can't act with the child.
But wouldn't the child tell you?
Yeah.
That's pretty dumb
Yeah, but
to not...
no, the thing is, honestly, you don't assume 9-year-olds actually are as intelligent as Maktoum. That's the thing. Most often you
That's
think
true.
it's a kid that's not gonna be smart enough to get even little signals. Because from what I get here, you just see little elements that give away somebody's true intentions.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good you're there for your
So
mom.
what's like a bad way someone has spoken to you or something that made you go, Mom, no.
So like when he curses at me and
At you.
at me, but like I'm fine if you like curse around me.
Around is
Yeah,
okay,
but not
at
at you.
Like as a joke, so like
Yeah.
anything like that. But like straight at me because you're upset about like nothing. Then yeah. And also when what he like tells me to do. So like if like he forces me to do something I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically you're saying that like when he's upset, how he treats you says a lot, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay, got it.
What's your favorite thing about Mom's parenting style?
It's so hard for a kid to even understand.
I know, but no, he and baby.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I love this.
You respect me. You tell me everything. You don't hide anything.
Okay.
I want to add more.
Okay. Add more.
So you already gave 3 things and you want to add more.
Yeah.
You see how beautiful love is?
I want to know. Tell me. What else, Habibi? Yeah.
You tell me everything.
That's great.
Honestly, the things you have
Yeah.
discussed already are so powerful.
Oh, I know. In holidays, she gives me money.
Fair.
I am a sugar mama.
That's a nice. Yeah, literally. That's a fair. Okay, what does Mom do that annoys you the most?
She talks over me.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like she's like, just grabs him for no
No,
reason.
he is right. I have this thing where I'm trying to like even fix now is that sometimes I talk over him because like he repeats the same thing over and over and I
Because-
should still listen instead of talking over him or say it in a different way. So I'm trying to work on it.
I repeat it because
love you.
you're interrupting me.
I mean,
That's
You know, we had the same
repeat it.
problem.
Yeah.
We actually had the same problem. Sonia once told me that I tend to talk over her. What I realized, what we both realized, why does it happen? Because obviously, like, we respect each other. I would never like come into her speech to try to outstage or anything like that. We realized that we tend to know where the person goes and we finish each other's sentences.
Yeah,
So it's
that's why
like
it's
she's
happening.
saying something and I know where she's
well,
headed.
That's what I do too.
Yeah, you already know where
Exactly.
he's
I
headed.
know the end result.
You know,
No,
and
you
you
don't.
like.
No, you don't.
Yeah, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's how you feel.
No,
Exactly. What kind of healing work have you done and how have you benefited from it at already such a young age?
Okay. So meditation.
Meditation is a very difficult thing for many people because of so much noise in the world and how you can focus. How does it come for you? Like, how did you start?
I started a long time ago, but it's not really for me.
Oh, okay. So you tried and, you know,
Yeah,
it
it's
finds you
not
at
for me.
different times of your life. Sometimes you need it in the moment and then it leaves and then it comes back into your life. So you may not need it now, but who knows what happens in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, usually what I teach him is that, like, for example, in moments where he's losing control or he's angry
Yeah.
and his anxiety kicks in or anything, we just go to the room, put a pillow, play certain
Breathe.
frequencies of music and breathe.
Oh,
and
that's amazing.
And the thing is, a lot of people think that, oh, in meditation, I cannot do it because my mind can't go blank. It doesn't have to go blank.
Yep.
It's just about breathing and calming down and recentering and refocusing. So I teach him that. And he might not get it now, but later on in the future, it will help him a lot.
Yeah.
But it does calm him.
You're a natural.
You could say.
Nice. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Bless you.
I'll be back.
Next time it's just going to be you.
I'll be back.
That's it. Does everything feel complete for you? Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to share with anyone listening?
I just want people, as much as they spend on holidays and vacations and save up to buy their favorite bag or favorite car or invest in homes and invest in properties, like, don't neglect yourself. Like, the best investment I've ever done, and a lot of people ask me, like, what's the best investment business-wise? I say, me. In my healing, like I do the business to fund my fun and my joy, but also to fund my healing. And don't neglect yourself, because we tend to forget that this is just a meat suit with the soul inside, and we're just having an experience, and we neglect the soul. We serve the body a lot, you
Right.
know, by going traveling to the gym and all that and looking good. And the soul's like, what about me? What about me? Look at me, you know, and just like, you know, you take your muscles to the gym, take your intuition to the gym, trust it more. Because I feel like my biggest lesson of 2024 was like, trust your intuition. Because every single time I ended up in a wrong place or with the wrong person, wrong time, I've always had a gut feeling. So now I honor my gut feeling, even if it's wrong. I don't even question, why do I feel a certain way? I walk in, I feel like this is not right. I don't even need to make logic out of it, because there's no logic in anything when it comes to being a soul having a human experience.
Yeah.
And also, if you're stuck in the logic, you miss out on a lot of magic, you know? And we have a lot of magic inside of us. So please take the time, invest in yourself, invest in your soul, invest in your healing. And once you do that, you automatically become better at business, better at relationships, better as a parent, better as a friend. So instead of seeking to tackle these things on their own, just do the inner work, and it ripples to everything else. So please, like, as much as you do for your 3D life, you know, and the experiences you fund and you do, please do it for yourself. That's my biggest advice I can leave people with.
Well, this is very powerful, because we both learned. I learned on myself that initially, when we started dating and early days of our relationship, I would be in my male ego.
Yeah.
And very often I would ignore Sonia's gut feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and over time, she was right every single time. But I was too proud to follow what she felt. And it took work. But nowadays, like, the feminine gut feeling is so powerful.
It is.
Like, she's like
Your crystal ball.
Like a crystal ball. She knows. And that's
him.
That's what makes relationships powerful as well, when you have two sides of the wisdom and the approach to things. That's what happens.
Actually, a lot of couples, actually both sexes, what they do is they compete, but what they don't know is they complete each other. So she's your crystal ball, you're something else.
Yeah, he does so much. Your logic, way
within the scope,
focus
I should be the ball.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but look, men,
baby.
no, but men protect us in the physical world. Women protect you in the spiritual world.
Yes.
It's completely,
I love this.
And only when women walk safely on earth, they can protect you up there. But otherwise, it does not work. It's all disconnected.
Yeah,
and
it's a distortion.
Men are not doing the job. A lot of men are not doing the job. A lot of men are, but mostly are not. We need a safe space for us to do the magic we can do.
You know, before we finish, actually, there is one thing that we haven't touched on today that, like, especially after talking to you so deeply and meaningfully, like, I think would be a great question to ask.
What is it?
And it's about the Real Housewives.
Okay.
Like, I really wonder how someone with your approach to life could find yourself in that environment.
I have a very simple answer for you. So when I first was casted, I said no, because I was like, I'm not that. I don't fit in that. I'm not that. But then I remember after rejecting the role and saying, I'm not really into it, I need to think about it. I was sitting down and I said, where the hell did they find me? Like all the way from America, like in Hollywood. How did they find me here? And then I was like, oh my God, I manifested this. I prayed for this, because I remember once I was sitting and I was like, God, I really want my voice to go beyond the Middle East. I want to educate people about healing and about power, and I want to inspire people, but I want my voice to go louder, you know, because there's a lot of people who are famous that are useless in the industry. Like, they're not even teaching much. They're actually doing the worst. I said, but please make the right ones have a bigger space, a bigger place for our voice to be heard. And then I got this.
Wow.
So then I was like, God, you sent me this, I'm not going to say no. So I took it and I took it. And if you watch the whole show, I'm always talking about spirituality. I'm talking about mental health. I'm talking about all of this, because if I need my voice to be heard, that is the department, and the viewers of that show are the ones that need to hear this the most.
I didn't even consider that, but that is so true. It is these spaces that need these conversations.
Totally.
And this like wake up call to, you know, not be in the field of drama all the time, for example.
And believe it or not, I made some friends with a couple of other housewives from other franchises, and they told me, you know, because of how much you preach about healing, it was annoying in the beginning, you know?
Yeah,
they said
it's always like that.
Yeah, they're like it's annoying because it triggers us because we haven't done the work, right? So your light triggers us.
Yeah.
They're like, but then later on, you made us realize that even when we're filming the next season, we kind of toned it down because we care about mental health now. So it's like, thank God, you know, if that's the result of this, amazing. I'll take the bullet. I don't care.
Yeah.
But is it easy? No. Did I need the production team were amazing. They helped us. They took care of their mental health. It's just the girls on the show that were crazy. They were making it even worse.
There was a lot of drama, but I loved seeing how you dealt with some of these situations.
I was like this close to losing
Very
myself.
grounded.
No, but also I realized something about people in this industry. They think that people who are calm or spiritual are like spiritual mats on the floor. They can step on them.
Yes.
But no,
Absolutely not.
No, I have a backbone and I have a yin and a yang, and I know when to release one of them. You know?
Yes.
So it's like being spiritual is that you have duality inside of you, but your darkness is tamed and you know when to release it. So you don't, and basically it doesn't mean I'm going to go mess shit up or burn down shit. No, I'm just going to fight and stand up for myself.
Yeah.
And every time I did that, it was like, everyone was like, oh, Sarah, how dare you? I was like, oh my God, how dare I? I stood up for myself, you know?
Sarah, shut up.
Oh my God, I'm such a bitch.
Shut up, Sarah.
Hey, whoa, you know? They expect you to have no backbone.
Yeah.
You know,
because
they
that's
think
you
it's
become
a
an easy
byproduct.
target because you're
Exactly.
supposed to be
Exactly.
so spiritually kind.
But I'm sorry, I am an empath, but not a dumb one, not a toxic one.
And you're kind to yourself.
Yeah, and I always say this, empaths with no boundaries are like homes with no doors. unattractive. Cannot live in it. It's not safe. Nobody wants to stay for long. So please build these doors for your homes. Don't build walls, because walls, yes, they protect you from bad things, but they also block you from good things. A door is very beautiful because it opens and shuts for the right and the wrong things. Yeah.
Thank you for opening the door to your soul with us today.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me the space to feel safe to open up like that.
Incredible.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Really an honor.
I love you guys.
I did this one.
Yeah, this is the new one.
Yeah.